Corinthians. 1 Corinthians. Let's see. When I came to you, brothers and sisters, I did not come proclaiming the mystery of God to you in lofty words or wisdom. For I decided to know nothing among you except Jesus Christ and Him crucified. The word Lent comes from the word lengthen. Lengthen. Because, well, we already did it on Saturday night, Sunday morning, right? We sprang ahead, right? What's happening to the length of days? We're moving from winter to spring. So that's the word Lent comes from the word lengthen. It's during this time of Lent. Began last Wednesday, a week ago, with ashes. And the ashes are a symbol of repentance, the beginning of the fast. It used to be called the beginning of the fast because of Jesus' 40 days in the wilderness of fasting. And later on it became Ash Wednesday. They called it Ash Wednesday. But it didn't used to be always called that. About around the year 1000, they called it Ash Wednesday. Ashes were used from the very beginning, and I would say as I put the sign of the cross on, remember that you are dust, and to dust you will return. They didn't always used to go on the forehead; they would just mark you on the hands, and then it became prominent on the forehead. But then Protestants said we're not supposed to do that because Jesus says don't do that so everybody can see you. So in the Catholic Church, it stayed on the forehead, but for many years, Protestants wouldn't do it as an outward symbol because they felt it contradicted what Jesus said. You know, don't let anybody see you do it. But now it's more prominent now. Since I've been a pastor, it's been a common thing. The other day, where's Nancy? There you are. There you are. Nancy straight up asked, "What is Shrove Tuesday called? Or why is it called Shrove Tuesday?" And Shrove is from the Anglo-Saxon word meaning to cleanse. And I said, "Well, what's it called in New Orleans? Does anybody know what they call Tuesday before Lent in New Orleans? Fat Tuesday. Fat Tuesday." I thought, that's kind of a weird thing. Why did they call it Fat Tuesday? Because of the custom of the tradition of collecting all the fat that was forbidden to be eaten during Lent. And if you're from ancestries from Germany, on Fat Tuesday they make, Nancy, what?
Donuts.
They make donuts. They fry donuts. And if you're from England, they eat pancakes. That's the tradition. So there's a lot of people that have pancake suppers on Shrove Tuesday, or they sell donuts. I had no idea, but that's what's going on. That's what happens during Lent. Lent, after the Council of Nicaea, was a time of penitence, of repentance, of cleansing, renewal, and focusing on the cross of Christ. Again, the 40 days, and they don't include the Sundays during Lent. Sundays they consider, those are still mini Easters, so we're not going to call them, we're still going to, but pretty much we still have that. Or we kind of focus it on the cross. A time of repentance and focusing on the cross of Christ. So if I were to ask you, what is best in life? What would you say? Well, what does our Constitution of the United States talk about? Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That's what it's all about. If you were a marauding bandit called Conan the Barbarian, you would say, to have your enemies run before you, to crush them, and to hear the lamentation of the women, or something like that. That's from Conan the Barbarian. That was best in life for him, to have your enemies defeated. And you got to say it like Arnold Schwarzenegger says it, because he started that movie. But what is really best in our lives? What is the most important? What is the most important part of our faith? St. Paul says the most important thing, the first thing, the most important thing that I came to you to talk to you about and to proclaim to you is Jesus Christ and Him on the cross. On the cross crucified. That's the most important thing. He doesn't stop there, but he says, and because he was crucified, but he was also raised, and he showed up. He appeared to people. He appeared to Peter, he appeared to 500 others, and lastly, as of though one untimely born, he also appeared to me. This is Paul saying himself. I hand it over to you as of first importance what I received. First importance. The part that matters is the cross. That's what counts. And over the centuries, history, over the course of history, has some history has demonized it. Some, rightly so. Emperor Constantine put it on his soldier's breastplate and shield, because he saw a sign once that said, by this sign conquer. He said, okay, I'll put this on there. People have burned it. People have plated it in copper or gold or silver. We have decorated our church with it. And in fact, one of our members, I always give him a hard time when I tell this story. So Bill Gregory, he's a snowbird. But one time he goes, Pastor, how come we don't have a cross on our church? I go, we do. He goes, we do not have a cross. I go, we do. It's there. He goes, no, we do not. I go, just look when you drive by. He came back the next day and goes, oh my gosh, I couldn't believe it. It's as big as a house. It's all on the front brick on the other side of this in the shape of a cross. He was looking for it on the steeple. I didn't say it. I go, Bill, I didn't tell you it was on a steeple. I just said it's on the church. And it is. It's right behind this wall. We've decorated churches with it. We wear it. I wear it. I have a cross at home. I have different crosses that children have. I have it on my board or my wall in church. I have a replica of one cut out from one of the I-beams of one of the Tower 2 in the World Trade Center. One of my members in North Dakota perished there, and their father gave me, he visited the site, and a welder was cutting up the debris, and he saw his wife and him standing there. He came up and goes, did you lose someone here? He said, yeah, our daughter perished. She died, Tower 2. And he just left. So he turned around and left. And then a half hour later, he came with this cross that he cut out of steel I-beam with his cutting torch. And her brother in North Dakota was a sculptor. He took that, made a cast out of it, and made it into bronze. And I have it in my desk. It's just exact, just like if you cut, however they do that. Got the welding marks and everything. So I have that. Many of you have crosses at home. Some use them as night lights. The one little kid, his grandpa was visiting with him. the kid was visiting Grandpa. And he couldn't go to sleep. And his dad, Grandpa was a pastor, the grandson, 4 or 5 years old. He goes, Grandpa, I want a cross so I can go to bed. And right then he said, my heart warmed. I thought, oh, that's great. The next, the second generation, my son is teaching my grandson about the cross. He gave him a cross. He goes, no, Grandpa, I want a cross that I can see in the dark. It was a nightlight with a cross on it. That's what he wanted, as a nightlight. But then he said, you know what? Well, we all need a cross that we can see in the dark. Because it's a dark world. One preacher told, I remember hearing him say, history has done everything to the cross except ignore it. Indeed. We preach Christ crucified, Paul says, a stumbling block to Jews and a folly to Gentiles, but to those who are being saved, it is the power of God. That is what is best in life. The cross that bore our sins. Jesus bore our sins on his body, in his body, on the cross, for us. And because of that, we have the best of lives. Thanks be to God. Okay, please stand now, and let's sing our hymn number